all of yourself into a photograph. Hi everyone. Yes, today I'm just off to the hospital actually. Nothing serious. I've got a cyst on my kidney and I've got to do something called a diuretic renogram. Yeah, so I think that's just to make sure that everything's flowing carefully and this cyst isn't actually impeding the flow. That's probably way more information than you ever needed to know. Anyway, what I wanted to say to you was, this morning I was picking out something to wear and the weather is actually pretty cold and pretty windy, despite it being November, which in the Northern Hemisphere would be June. It would be like the 4th of June and it's still cold and windy. You'll know I've put on a jumper. I have a merino jumper on, and this is the Upton dress that I made last year. Now, it hasn't had many outings, and one of my commenters, Jan, asked me about tights. Yes, Jan, I hear you. The problem for me is probably the same. I don't like wearing tights very much. Now, it helps that I've now managed to buy tights from a place called tights.co.nz. I wonder if that's a sister company to bras.co.nz. Anyway, they sell tights in all different sizes. I've always had trouble buying tights because I'm tall, 5'8", as well as bigger, and that has meant that they usually always they never pull up properly, and they have that horrible thing where they and then they sort of fall down and they rub. It's horrible. But usually I wear them with a nice tight pair of knickers over the top. However, today I haven't got tights on. I've got leggings on. Because actually the dress is actually long enough that you can barely see them anywhere, and I've got like little short boots on as well. So yeah, Jan, you helped push me out of my comfort zone. I thought, you know what, I really do need to get to wear the dress. I'm quite good at wearing dresses when the weather's hot and then I don't have to wear tights or anything. But I'm not good at wearing them when I've got to wear tights or something on the bottom half. Anyway, that's probably more than enough about that. I need to go. Yeah, off to the hospital. I've got a few errands to do as well before I go back to work. So this is a great big bag of all of the trousers that I didn't like and didn't fit me. But luckily, where the hospital isn't far from this place, so I can drop these off and not have to pay postage back. And I want to take these shoes I thought I would try them, and I wore them with a dress, and then blow me down, didn't they both start to come apart? I think the glue, even though they haven't been worn much, the glue must have failed after a given number of years. Anyway, I'll drop them off at the shoe menders too. Well, here I am now leaving the hospital. Gosh, they were really great in there. They're just so wonderful and so professional. So the hospital here, I want to show you something. So they've got that line. That line goes right through the hospital, and you work out what colour line you need for the place you're going to, and you just follow the line. It's very good. Hello, back again. Just wanted to check in with you before I go to bed. I was just printing out one of my latest purchases. So in the Black Friday sale, one thing I did buy, even though I promised myself that I wouldn't be buying any more patterns, well, Cashmerette had a sale. So they generally work very well for me, and of course you don't have to do all that adjustment. But anyway, I just went on to my account and realised that I've bought patterns. I bought quite a few patterns from Cashmerette that I haven't actually used yet, and I was just musing upon why that might be. So if I move over this way a little bit, I can put them in here so that you can see them. So I've just bought They had a 3 for 2 in Black Friday. They don't very often have discounts and sales, Cashmerette, which is why I kind of caved in. So they did 3 for 2. I bought the Webster. Sorry, I have just printed out now. Yeah, the Webster dress, I think it's probably looks quite simple. Also, I do have quite a few cotton prints which I've been keeping for the summer, so I think I could possibly find something fairly floaty and get on and make that. I might not make the dress, I might make that a tunic rather than a dress. I also bought the Rivermont. Now, I have really long admired this dress, and I think it would work quite well on my figure because it's fairly straight, but I really like the cut of it. I'm hoping it might give me a little bit more shape in the middle. The only thing about it is it needs this sort of heavy, stretchy knit. I think I'll have to look through my knits box and see what I've got. I probably do have something that I could make that with. However, I probably won't make the Rivermont now because it's coming into summer and I won't need it. But the third one I bought was this Alcott dress. Now, I have seen people wearing it, and I think it's actually a really nice cut. And of course, wrap dresses with a big bust, often they don't work very well. But Cashmerette, I have faith that whatever way they've designed it, so that it's not, a wardrobe malfunction in waiting. I bought the Martha wrap dress, and it's actually, I sort of made it in a really sort of cheap and cheerful fabric. It was actually quite nice. I quite liked it, but it was a bit, I don't know, I just felt it was a little bit unsafe because it's just sort of wrapped and tied. Yeah, I didn't feel comfortable wearing it for work, and it isn't the kind of thing I probably would wear outside of work. So anyway, I've got pulled into this Alcott dress. I don't know, like a freaking idiot. I thought it was a woven dress and it's actually a knit one, and it's so much harder for me to buy these different types of knits, especially light and stretchy ones. So I'm going to have to look out for a fabric for that. Mind you, it does make me wonder if I ought to have a go maybe at making it in a bigger size in a woven. Have you ever done that? I wonder if, I've heard that it can work. And I mean, maybe if I just find a woven fabric that's just something I don't mind throwing away and just make a quick little mock-up, I might try that, because honestly buying these knits is pretty damned expensive here. But anyway, when I went on my account, I looked back and I have bought also, in May, I also bought 3 in a 3 for 2 sale. So I bought the Harrison shirt. Now, I knew when I was buying these 3, I was buying things that were outside of my current skill level. But the number one thing I bought was the Harrison shirt. Now, I love button-down shirts, but they never have fitted me. So I was very excited by the idea that I would be motivated one day to make that shirt, and I think I will. Because obviously, with a figure like mine, really getting anything to do up across the bust is probably going to mean that the shoulders are down here. So I've always had that problem with bought shirts, but I do like the look of a shirt. So yeah, I bought the Harrison shirt, and I will make it in the future. Now, but the other 2, I'm going to just wait until the mood strikes me. One is the Ames jeans. I like the fact that they've got a cut for apple shapes and a cut for pear shapes. I don't know if I would quite consider myself an apple, but I definitely am a bit thicker in the middle, and especially since I've got older, since I've passed menopause, I think I have actually got thicker in the middle and thinner in the legs. I'm turning into a bee. Okay, and the third one was the Ipswich swimsuit. Now, I have a couple of swimsuits at the moment, and I haven't been going swimming, and actually if the freaking weather doesn't change, I won't be going swimming this summer. But I love the idea of making a swimsuit that actually fits me properly in the bust, because they never ever do. They're never big enough in the bust, and I have even been known to buy swimsuits in a bigger size and then take them in, but just to try and get them to fit. The other thing is finding the fabric, but I will keep my eyes open and see if I can find some fabric for that, maybe next time I go to Wellington. And then back in August 2017 I bought the Concord. All of these I've made. The Concord tee, I've made that a couple of times. I've made the Upton dress, you saw what I was wearing today. I also bought the sleeve expansion, and I made the one that's my black dress. Changed it a little bit from the style and put a bit of elastic in the back waist, but that is a lovely dress. I'm very happy with that, and I've worn it a few times. The Dartmouth top fabric I made it with was a bit crappy, and so I've got rid of that now, but I thought that the style and the pattern's very good. And the Pembroke, which I've made at least 3 times. The good thing about like the Upton dress, because it's got a fairly fitted bodice, that I've used that bodice to match against other patterns, and ditto with the Concord. You know, I use that knit bodice and then use it as a kind of a block to see whether other knit patterns are going to fit me. That's been handy for Ellie and Mac patterns, because Ellie and Mac patterns don't have any bust adjustments at all. So rather than do a bust adjustment, I've basically just drawn out the Concord tee. You know, I've copied this so that it's got the size of the Concord tee. That's what worked really, really well. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say tonight. I hope I didn't ramble on too much there. Yeah, so good night, and I will talk to you again tomorrow.